some of that. So Carl Jung talked about the shadow. It's the unconscious, where you have dark stuff, and oftentimes you use it to project. There's stuff that you're very self-critical about yourself, but because it's in your unconscious, you use it to project onto others. You see it as flaws in others, and that's a good way to, like, whatever. I think he has a quote, like, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. So that's a nice way to investigate yourself, like something that pisses you off. You start asking questions of your own mind, and that's how you bring it to the surface. But anyway, from that, those are formative years. From that time, is there still stuff in your unconscious you think you haven't examined? Some dark shit?
I don't think so. I'm not aware if it is, because I've looked. Like if someone someone says, I left something over your house. Like, where'd you leave it? I don't know. Like, all right, I'll go look.
Yeah.
I'll get a real thorough look.
But I'm pretty sure
it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I've looked. I mean, it certainly had an effect. I think the positive effect also was compounded by the fact that when my mother married my stepdad, who's a great guy, who was a hippie, very different, we moved around a lot. And so the bad thing about that was I didn't really develop long-term friends. The good thing about that was that I was forced to develop my own opinions about things. Instead of adopting an opinion of the neighborhood and the group about anything, I was forced to form my own thoughts and opinions about almost everything. And so it made me much more of an independent thinker. So that, on top of the fact that, losing, my quote unquote hero very early on, and then having to form my own opinions about things, it left me with a very independent streak, in terms of, and if I hadn't done the things that I got interested in, martial arts and then comedy, if I hadn't gotten interested in those things, I would have been fucked, because I was just too independent for normal jobs. I was too independent for school. I just didn't want to listen to people. I was too feral. I just didn't want to sit still. If I was with the wrong parents, especially today, I most certainly would have been medicated.
Yeah, there's so many possible trajectories you can imagine where you would have not been the person you are today.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably one of the best possible trajectories. You're living this this particular storyline you're living through was one of the better ones.
This timeline is as good as it gets for someone like me.
Is there advice you can give to people, to young kids that are living through a shitty situation of any sort, a tough life?
Find a thing you like. Try to find a thing that you really enjoy. Try to find a thing that you're passionate about.
Like an activity.
Yes. For me, early on, it was drawing. It was illustrations. It was comic books. I wanted to be a comic book illustrator. And then it went from comic book drawing and illustrations to martial arts. So, but it was just another thing that I was very, very passionate about. And that was my vehicle out of my dilemma. That was my vehicle out of my own anxiety and trauma and my own issues and insecurities. And find something. Find a thing that you genuinely enjoy, because getting good at things you genuinely enjoy is extremely beneficial for young people, because it lets you know that, like, everybody thinks they're a loser. Every young person thinks they're a loser. At least a young person in the situation I was at. Like, I didn't know I wasn't a loser until I started winning, until I started doing martial arts. Martial arts taught me that, like, I could get better at stuff, that I wasn't really a loser. I just was someone who was, like, in a fucked up situation. But you could channel all that energy that you have as a young person into something and get better at it. And then all of a sudden people admired me. I was like, this is crazy. So I went from being someone who was incredibly insecure and basically a failure to someone who was really successful at this one thing that was very dangerous, that other people were scared of. And that gave me immense confidence, and also a real understanding of the direct correlation between hard work and success.
And a kind of understanding that you're not a loser.
Right.
That there is some A diamond in the rough.
Yeah, and also an understanding that you can't listen to people. Because even my parents didn't want me to do martial arts. They didn't want me to fight. They didn't want me to do stand up. There's like you have to understand like who you are, and then in the face of other people's either criticism or lack of faith in your ability to succeed, you push through, and there's great benefit in that. And then you realize that you can kind of apply that to other things in life. You can apply that to critics. You can apply that to social media commentators. You can apply that to a lot of things.
Okay, what about young people in their 50s? Can you give advice to, like, imagine you're sitting back, probably still here in Texas, in your 90s, looking back. What advice would that guy give to you today? Or like people that have done some shit in their 50s. You've gone through a hell of a life. There's potentially some incentive to settle down. You got a great family to relax. But maybe there's some incentive to still do epic shit. Still be David Goggins running in the middle of the desert, screaming shit into a camera.
If you're David Goggins, you have to be David Goggins. I don't think there's a path for that guy that exists at this stage of his life other than that.
Do you think he'll be 70 and still screaming?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. 100%. If David and I are alive, we're both 70. He's gonna call me up and say, "Stay hard, motherfucker." Yeah. Guaranteed.
So lean into whatever the fuck you are at this point.
Well, if you're enjoying it, but if you're not enjoying it, rethink your life. Try to figure out why you're not enjoying it.
You still think it's possible to shift things in your 50s?
Yeah. If you're alive, you can get better.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. If you're alive, you can shift things. I mean, if you're 90 years old and you have a month to live, you can apologize for the things you think you did wrong, and maybe sort of reconcile and shape relationships that you have with the people that are around you better, so that they feel differently about you after you're gone.
Yeah, I always love people in their 70s who are like getting back into dating or something like that.
Yeah. I was watching a video about a woman who's in her 60s who just started powerlifting.
Nice.
Yeah.
And same with jiu-jitsu. You see people get into jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Like a white belt that's like 70. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of, if you're alive, you can get better at stuff. And I don't think people are happy if they don't have puzzles and complex tasks and things that are interesting to them, whether it's an art project or whether it's learning something completely new like stand-up comedy. Like doing things that are difficult is it's as much of a nourishment of the mind as food is a nourishment of the body. I think you need things that are puzzling to you, where you have to find your own human potential in the difficulty of the task and work your way through things. At least for me. For me, I mean, I can only speak for me because I'm the only life that I've ever lived that I'm aware of. And in my life, that has been 100% constant. I am a very happy person, and I have never had a moment where I'm not doing difficult shit.
Yeah.
Ever.
What matters most is how well you walk through the fires. You just keep starting fires for yourself to walk through.
Well, they don't necessarily have to be fires, right? Because fires are like kind of out of control.
Lukewarm
tasks.
Surfaces.
Tasks. Give yourself an arduous, difficult task where you're challenged mentally and challenged physically. One of the great things about being challenged physically is it's also mental. The people that don't understand that have never really been challenged physically. People that think that physical challenges are just physical. It's just brute grunt work. It's not. It's emotional intelligence. It's understanding your desire to quit and conquering your inner bitch. All that stuff it's mental. It's playing out inside your head. And there's a mental strength that you acquire from that you can apply to intellectual pursuits. And the people that don't think that are the people that haven't attempted them. And there's an arrogance to people that only pursue intellectual exercises, only pursue intellectual things, and don't pursue anything physical. That the physical stuff is base, it's grunt work, it's primal, it's not necessary. I don't think that's accurate. I don't think that I mean, obviously, there's people like Stephen Hawking who have no opportunity to do anything physical, right? His physical dilemma is was keeping his heart beating. But for most people, I think you can really benefit from physical struggle, and you benefit from it in a mental way. And I think that is overlooked. That's unfortunately overlooked by academics and intellectuals who they make excuses for why they're fat and lazy or scrawny.
Well, they don't need to be. It's not even about the fat or all of that. It's like literally there's something about the physical challenge that's really good for you, especially if you're academic, especially if you do intellectual type stuff. There's this great roboticist at MIT, Russ Tedrick. He runs barefoot to and from MIT every day.
I love it.
Like 7 to 10 miles each way.
Barefoot.
Well, he studies legged locomotion, legged robots.
Yeah.
So for him, it's also interesting how the human body moves. He sees the beauty in all movement.
What do his feet look like?
Calloused.
Destroyed, right?
No, just calloused. They're nice. They form a nice. No, it's not like I gave him a foot massage, but I mean they look. And I don't have a foot fetish, so I don't. I'm not able to correctly evaluate another man's feet. I apologize for this, but they don't look fucked up.
Does he run on concrete?
Yeah, he runs all surfaces.
And he does everything completely barefoot.
The running part at work. So one of the things he has to do is fit into society, which means he has to change clothes and appear normal.
Right. So does he wear like zero shoes? Those
no, he's
barefoot
not
type shoes.
No, because that's like very hippie, wokey type of thing.
Uh-huh.
No, like he doesn't. He's barefoot when he's running, and then he wears like normal looking stuff, like dress shoes.
How did he work his way up to running barefoot?
So he was significantly overweight, and his advisor, this other famous person at MIT who was a roboticist, took his own life, and that made him. That made Russ face his own mortality. I think. I mean, you start to ask big questions about your well-being, like, holy shit, this ride can end at any moment. Yeah. And so he started taking his sort of physical well-being seriously. But as a result of that, not did he become like shredded, but he's also discovered the intellectual value, the humbling value of physical exercise. So he's not preachy about it at all. I actually rarely hear him advise it to anyone. He just does it as a almost like meditation or something like that. It's
definitely a form of meditation, and you can attest to that, right? You do quite a bit of running. There's a thing about you kind of almost like a mantra gets formed, and you get into it.
It was great here in the Austin heat, 100-degree weather. That tests you.
You know what I love to do outside?
What's that?
Pull sleds. That's my thing. I love to pull sleds outside.
In the heat.
Yeah, I did today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So your wife is incredible. You're in a relationship. And you're married. You have a great family. What advice would you give to me and to others like me who are dumb fucks and have not found a relationship?
Well, you're a great guy, so this definitely doesn't necessarily apply to you. But be someone who someone would want to be in a relationship with. There's a lot of people out there that want a great partner. They want someone in a relationship, but why would someone want to be in a relationship with you? Maybe you bicker a lot. Maybe you're jealous. Maybe you lie. Maybe maybe you're cruel. Maybe you don't have a sense of humor. Maybe you're not kind. Like what is it about you that people would not enjoy being around or that people avoid? Fix that.
Well, this applies to me as well. Like you said something with Cam Haines. One of the things you admire is the discipline it takes to sort of juggle so many things and do it successfully. I'm not sure I'm very good at that.
So juggling all this hard work and then also a relationship.
Also a relationship, also family, all of those kinds of priorities. I mean, that requires having your shit together.
It does. It's a different thing. But it's also, you got to find the right person. There's a lot of people who settle for sexy. They settle for hot.
Okay,
They
yeah,
settle for the wrong person. Like, you can get hot and nice. They're out there.
yeah,
But don't get hot and mean. Hot and mean's not fun. Then you get Amber Heard.
yeah.
You know?
And then you end
You
up
get
in a
hot.
trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be deceived by perfect symmetry.
So you don't think it's a good idea to record your partner?
I think you should
Private?
record all conversations. The CIA's doing it no matter what. I assume that every conversation I have is recorded because I'm pretty sure it is.
Even when we had dinner with Alex Jones, he was recording.
Yeah.
I still remember that.
Oh, I didn't know that was recording.
He might, you know what? It'd be funny if he is the CIA
He
player.
could be. Could be.
That'd be the
but
ultimate
that's
joke.
my advice about relationships is be somebody, and then also like find someone who you can grow with, right? You don't want to be with someone who doesn't share your values. You don't want to be with someone who makes excuses. You don't want to be with someone who's lazy or who's spiteful. You want to be with someone who's like genuinely kind. That's one of the things that I really love about my wife, and she's very smart and she works hard. She's a dedicated, disciplined person, but she's also really nice. That's one of the things I like the most about her. She's so nice. She's always smiling.
And that energy is great.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen us together.
Yeah.
You've hung around with us. She's fun.
Yeah.
She's a lot of fun.
Yeah. She makes you just feel great to be alive. It's
Yes.
good to have people like that around you.
She's happy. She's a happy person. She's happy to be around. That's the kind of people that you could have in your life as friends and as coworkers and as lovers and wives and husbands. You can find those people. They're real. And when you find those people, your life is better. Like, to have a good tribe is very important. To have a good tribe of people, you know? And I think if there's anything that I'm very, very fortunate about, it's the people that I'm around. I have very good friends, and one of which is you. It's so valuable to have quality people around you because it makes you want to do better, because you admire the hard work that these people put in, like Mike Cam Haynes or Goggins or many of my friends, and people that are generous and people that are curious and people that are honest. They inspire you to do the same, and it's extremely valuable. It's one of the most valuable things is to surround yourself with positive, healthy, friendly, generous people.
That's why I cut out Tim Dillon from my life. I broke up with him.
I thought you guys were getting married.
No, it's over. It's none of those things. The toxicity, the nonstop conspiracy theories, the nonstop mocking of my Eastern European origins. It's just not healthy for me. Plus, he's physically abusive and a towering figure, both
He's
emotionally
a big boy.
and physically. No, I love him. Okay,
If he worked out, he would be a house. He's got such
brick
a
house.
large frame, you know?
So if I interview Putin, what should I ask him?
How's the cancer? How's it doing, buddy? That's question number one in Russian. Do you think he has cancer?
I don't think so.
The narrative is terrifying, right? Dictator of the largest nuclear arsenal in the world who also has cancer, and he just invaded a sovereign country. That's a terrifying narrative because that's what we're all afraid of. Someone who has nothing to lose who just decides to let loose a nuke.
Well, I do think maybe it's projecting, but if I had cancer, or if you think about leaders that have cancer, you're facing your own mortality, I would think he would be more focused on his legacy, and dropping a nuclear bomb is not good for legacy. I do believe he wants to be remembered as a great leader, as a lot of leaders do, as a lot of even dictators do. And I think he wants to figure out a way to pull out a win so he can say that the whatever this thing was, whatever this invasion was good for Russia, was good for the nation. He ultimately made it a greater nation than it was before. And perhaps you could justify an escalation of war to be that. But I don't. And it's just the cancer thing concerns me so much because it's been so often part of this propaganda that's been told about Putin that he's sick.
Right.
I don't know why. That it's always, people kind of wonder that a lot about, especially dictators. But you had that even like with Hillary Clinton and obviously with Biden, that narrative is stickier. So for some people, it's
Well,
stickier
that
than
narrative is transparent
yeah,
and obvious.
but the degree of it is a question with Biden as it is with everyone. Like, what's how healthy is this leader? That's a
Right.
question people often
Sure.
ask.
Always. They were doing that about Trump too. The thing about Putin though is like his appearance is altered, where he looks very bloated. His body doesn't look much bigger, but his face looks like puffy and swollen. I had a friend who had sarcoidosis, and they prescribed prednisone, which is a type of a steroid. And one of the things that would happen when he was on it is his face would get really big. It was like he would blow up, like swell up, and maintain a lot of water and inflammation. And that's what it looks like when I'm looking at Putin.
So actually, like if you're sitting with him, one question is about health. That's has Biden been asked that kind of question? No, like without mockery,
He
without
would have
any
to
of
go on
that.
Fox News. Like the
No,
mainstream media treats him with kid gloves in a way that I've never seen. I mean, it's so obvious there's something horribly wrong with his cognitive function.
well, I to push back, I don't know if it's horribly wrong.
You don't
I
think it's
think it's
horribly wrong?
I think it's no, I think there's uncertainty to which degree is wrong. I would love there to be a serious like conversation about
Yeah.
with him. In fact, I actually have to now look because of course Fox News will mock his like declining
Yes.
mental health, and then I would love like sort of an objective discussion. Are you aware of this? Are you like what are you putting in place? Are you yourself? Because if I was a person with declining mental abilities, like you have to start thinking about that kind of stuff. Like who is around you? Who are the
Yeah.
advisors? What if you stop being able to see the world clearly?
Yeah.
I would be transparent about that kind of stuff.
Well,
Maybe-
you would be, but you also would never be a politician.
Yeah.
Because you're too fucking honest.
Well, yeah, but actually, from a conversation perspective, it would be nice if that kind of discussion was had.
It would be. But all jokes aside, with Putin, I would ask questions about democracy versus what they have. I mean, without any disparaging descriptions of what is going on over in Russia, it's clearly not a democracy. It's I mean, the way he has it set up, the elections are a joke.
So he would push back. That's clearly not a democracy. He is still very popular. So majority of people are huge supporters of Putin inside Russia. The people that push back against that would say that that's because any serious opposition is pushed out of the country.
Yeah.
So like his
arrested
competition
and murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yes, that's a really, really good question.
The value of dictatorships. One of the things about the United States that's fascinating to me is that every 4 years, unless it's 4 to 8 years, right? Someone does 2 terms, but every 4 years, there's an opportunity for someone to be new and completely inexperienced at the most difficult job in the world, which is ridiculous.